Hello students, we're about ready to begin our discussion about food cost percentages. And to do that, I want to have a quick discussion about the expenses that you might have in your restaurant. Now, it would be a lot better if we could do this all in person so we could kind of brainstorm with different ideas. But if we use this circle to represent all of the money that's coming into our restaurant through customers coming in and buying things. Out of that money, we've got to pay for things like labor. Labor is the money that you would pay your employees to work. It's a pretty big chunk. We would have to buy things like paper supplies, paper plates, paper cups, napkins, straws, those types of things. We would also have to buy replacement cups and plates and dinnerware and silverware. We'd also have to set up aside a chunk of money for replacing our equipment, replacing our ovens, replacing our washers, dishwashers, things like that. Those big ticket items. Insurance is another big thing, big item. Insurance on your building, depending if you own your building, you would have to pay for fire insurance or liability in case of a customer gets hurt. Different types of insurance. If employee medical coverage, things like that. Utilities like the gas, the electric, the water that costs to run the restaurant. Those are just a few of the different things that you guys would need to pay for in a restaurant. I'm sure I'm forgetting some because, like I said, we usually do this as a big brainstorm. One item is the cost of food. The cost of food that we buy to make for other people. The cost that we pay our suppliers for the food. And then the last section, and this is the one that everybody always forgets, is our profit. You have to think of your profit as an expense in your business, or you can often lose sight of making a profit. Okay? This food cost percentage, though, this food cost is the only thing that we actually have a little bit of control with. We can't really control how much electricity costs or how much water costs or how much insurance would cost. We don't really have a lot of control over those, but we can manipulate the price that our food costs us to make. We have a formula that is similar to our yield percent formula, and it is the food cost percentage over 100 is equal to the food cost over the menu price. And food cost percentage, I've talked about John Taffer from Bar Rescue. If you guys ever watch that on Spike TV, I think that's on Spike right now, that he says that a lot of restaurants go out of business because they don't keep track of their food cost. So just to show you some basic easy problems right here, that it says, what is the menu price? So what should we charge our customer for a piece of tuna that costs us $2.30 to make at a food cost percentage of 30%? So do you see how those all go into the formula there? And if we cross multiply and divide, the suggested menu price is $7.30. $2.67. You're always going to round up when it talks about money. No matter what, you're going to round up to the next, at least the next penny. Now, this is just a suggested menu price. You could put it on the menu for $7.99. There's a weird study that was out there that said that some people will look at this number, $7.99, and see $7. And they would be more likely to buy it than if it said $8. My husband would look at $7.99 and he sees $7. I look at $7.99 and still see $8. This calculated price right here is just a suggested menu price. You don't want to go lower than that, but you can bump it up so that it's a nice even number. I mean, very rarely will you see something on the menu for $7.67. So let's look at the next example here. And these three examples are just showing you 3 different ways you can use the formula. This says, what is the food cost? So that's the part we don't know. I have an item that we sell for $5.30, so that's the menu price, at a food cost percentage of 40%. Now you cross multiply and divide, and I'm not going through all those steps because we know how to do that from doing the yield percentage. So the food cost, it cost us $2.12 to make whatever that item is. And then the third example here, what is the food cost percentage of a sandwich? So the food cost percent is the part we don't know. That cost us $3.30 to prepare it, so that's the food cost. And it's being sold as $7.95. And we get 41.5. We're always just going to round to a whole number and say 42. So 42%. So out of this menu price, out of this $7.95, 42% of it is going to buy the ingredients to make it. 42% is a very high food cost percentage. And we're going to talk here in a little bit about a high food cost percentage and what does it do and how does it affect everything else. So if we flip the page, let's go through a couple of these. And I'm hoping you guys are working through these a little bit on your own while I'm discussing them here. What is the menu price? The menu price is the part we don't know. Of a steak that costs us $4.30 to make it. So that's the food cost. And the food cost percentage is 35. I cross multiply and divide. The menu price should be $12.29. And now you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of money. If it only costs us $4.30 to make it, and we're selling it for $12.29, we're making a lot of profit. We're making a lot of revenue. It's not necessarily profit, because remember, still out of this $12.29, we still have to pay for gas, electricity, insurance, the cost of our employees, all those different things, right? So even though that seems like we're making a lot of money off of that, it's not as much as you think, I guess. So I want to jump down and let's talk about this one. So this is another one where we're trying to calculate the menu price of a piece of cake that costs us $2 per portion to make it. 35 is the percentage. 100 goes on the bottom. Cross multiply and divide. Our suggested menu price is $5.72. Now remember, that's a suggested menu price because you probably have never seen anything on the menu for $5.72, right? You could make it $5.99. That would probably be a more rounded number. You can always check out those other three, but I want to go on in this discussion to look at this last page of the lesson guide. So number 6 here, the first part of number 6 says, what should the menu price of a meal be if it costs us $3.35 to make it, and we use a 25% food cost? So a 25% food cost and $3.35 to make it. What is the menu price? If I cross multiply and then divide, I get a menu price of $13.40. Again, what food cost means, this 25% means that 25% of the menu price is going toward paying for the food to make it, the raw ingredients in order to make it. So our next question is, what would our profit be? And I'm going to use this term profit pretty loose, but $13.40, and we paid $3.35 to make it. You subtract those, and we're bringing in $10.05. Now, still out of that $10.05, remember we've got to pay for labor and electric and all that good stuff too. But we're doing the same meal down here with part B, but this time we're using a higher food cost percentage. So I want you to recalculate it. Still $3.35 to make it. Menu price. All right, we cross multiply and then divide. I get a menu price of $9.57. And then that would mean if we sold it for $9.57, it cost us $3.35 to buy the raw ingredients. That means we're making a profit of $6.22. So what I want you to look at is, or think about, what is better for us as the business owner? What is better, a high food cost percentage, like 35%, or a lower food cost percentage, like 25%? Take a look at your answers and just take a second and try to think about it. When our food cost percentage was lower, we were able to make more money, right? But it raised our menu price. But, of course, we're in the business of making money, so we want to make more money. The lower the food cost percentage, the higher the profit will be. Let me write that down here. If the food cost percentage is low, the profit will go up, right? So a low food cost percentage is better for the business owner? Does everybody agree with that? Okay, so let's say I'm super duper greedy and I'm going, well, the lowest food cost percentage, if I decide that I use a 10% food cost, because I want my food cost to be low, and I'm still doing the same same meal. If I cross multiply and divide, I get a menu price of $33.50. So, which would mean that I would make a profit, let me go through that far, of $30.15 off of that meal. Which I go, cha-ching, wow. You know, but, okay, so some things you need to take into consideration when you're choosing a food cost percentage for your restaurant is that if you go too low on your food cost percentage, it's going to drive your menu price up. So let's say that this was spaghetti and meatballs. Okay. In the city of Pittsburgh or New York City or somewhere like that, would someone pay $33.50 for spaghetti and meatballs? Maybe. In Creekside, Pennsylvania, at a little mom and pop restaurant, is anybody gonna buy spaghetti and meatballs for $33.50? Heck no! So you're not going to sell the item, so therefore you won't have any profit either. So when you're picking a food cost percentage, you need to be cautious about the location of your restaurant and the clientele, because if you pick too low of a percentage, your menu prices are going to be like super high and nobody's going to come to your restaurant. All right, you've got to kind of be aware of your market, if that makes any sense to you. So that's our introduction to food cost percentage. I want you to go to the Google quiz, make sure you complete it, make sure you put your name on it, make sure you hit submit at the end. And if you have any questions, you can email me at cjones@ictc.edu. I am also going to be available from at 2:30 every day on the Zoom link, and I put the Zoom link in the stream on the Google Classroom. All right, I will definitely be on from at least 2:30 to 3 o'clock every day, so if you have any questions, you can pop into that Zoom and we can chat. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope to see you again soon. All right, bye.